endless savanna of Tanzania, where the horizon merges with golden grasses, lies the Ngulu Nature Reserve. Here, in this wild heart of Africa, came Leah, a 4-year-old girl from Canada, and her father Noah, an experienced biologist and ranger. After the tragic loss of his wife and Leah's mother, Noah decided to start a new life in Ngulu, to devote himself to protecting wildlife and give his daughter a chance to grow up among its wonders. For Leah, the savannah was both frightening and mesmerizing, a world full of sounds, smells, and mysteries. Every morning, Leah woke up at dawn when the sky was tinged with pink and orange. She sat on the porch of their modest home near the ranger station, watching her father prepare for his patrol. Noah often took her on short trips around the area, showing her antelope tracks, telling her about birds, and teaching her to respect nature. His closest friend and partner, local ranger Kwezi, became almost like a second father to Leah. Kwezi, with his kind smile and deep knowledge of the savannah, taught the girl Swahili words and told her legends about animals. Leah was curious and fearless. Despite her age, her eyes sparkled when she saw giraffes or heard a lion roar in the distance. One hot afternoon, Noah and Kwezi received a message on the radio. A wounded lion cub had been found in the thickets by the river. Without hesitation, they decided to go to the site. Leah, accustomed to riding in the patrol car, insisted on being taken along. Noah agreed, knowing that the girl would be safe in the car. When they arrived at the river, they saw a small lion cub lying in the dust. Its fur was covered in blood, and there were traces of hyenas around it. Leah's heart sank when she saw how weakly the cub was breathing. Noah and Kwezi carefully carried the lion cub to the car, applying a bandage to stop the bleeding. Leah, sitting in the back seat, couldn't hold back her tears. "Dad, will he survive?" she asked in a trembling voice. Noah, trying to remain calm, replied, "We'll do everything we can, sweetheart." At the reserve's rescue center, rangers and veterinarians worked together seamlessly. They cleaned the lion cub's wounds, administered antibiotics, and placed him in a warm cage. Leah refused to leave until she was sure the cub was safe. Every day she came to the center, brought the lion cub a toy, an old ball, and told him stories about faraway Canada. Sometimes she hummed a lullaby that her mother used to sing to her. The veterinarians noticed that the cub, whom Leah named Simu, which means lion in Swahili, calmed down when he heard her voice. Simu slowly recovered. After a few weeks, he began to stand up, play with a ball, and eat the meat brought by the rangers with gusto. Leah was delighted to see her little friend come back to life. She proudly showed Kwezi how Simu responded to her call, and even taught him to growl softly, imitating him. Noah and Kwezi decided to keep the name Simu, seeing how attached the lion cub had become to the girl. But time passed, and the rangers knew that Simu needed to return to the wild. One day, Kwezi noticed a lioness wandering near the borders of the reserve. Her behavior, constantly sniffing the ground and roaring anxiously, indicated that she was looking for her missing cub. Noah told Leah that they had to return Simu to his mother. The girl was happy that her friend had a family, but sadness settled in her heart. She was afraid of losing someone who had become so dear to her. The next morning, while the fog still hung over the savannah, Noah, Kwezi, and Leah went to the place where they had seen the lioness. Sima lay in a small cage, his eyes shining with curiosity. Leah sat next to him, whispering, "You'll be happy with your mom, won't you?" When they stopped in a wide clearing, Kwezi noticed the lioness in the distance. She was slowly approaching, her ears pricked up. Noah opened the cage, and Simu hesitantly stepped out. When he saw the lioness, he let out a high-pitched squeak. The lioness froze, then rushed toward him, sniffing and nuzzling him. Leah watched the scene, her eyes filling with tears. She waved to Simu, whispering, "Be happy, my friend." Simu turned as if to say goodbye and ran after his mother into the tall grass. Noah hugged his daughter and Kwezi smiled, saying, "You did a good thing, Leah." 3 years passed. Leah was 7 years old, and already knew the trails of Ngulu like the back of her hand. She learned to recognize animal tracks, distinguish birds by their songs, and even helped her father keep records of the antelope population. Every Sunday she, Noah, and Kwezi went on patrol, exploring new corners of the reserve. Leah dreamed of becoming a ranger like her father to protect the savannah. One clear Sunday morning, they drove out to the plains where herds of zebras grazed. In the distance, Noah noticed a pride of lions eating their prey, an antelope they had just hunted down. Deciding to shoot footage for a documentary about the reserve, Noah and Quizzy got out of the car with their cameras. They told Leah to stay in the car, and although she was a little nervous, she obeyed. Noah and Quizzy moved cautiously, trying not to attract the lions' attention. Quizzy filmed the lionesses dividing their prey, while Noah recorded his commentary. But at one point, Quizzy stepped on a dry branch, and the crunch echoed through the silence. The pride instantly became alert. The lions raised their heads, their eyes flashing. The largest of them, a powerful male with a thick mane, let out a low roar. Noah and Quizzy froze, realizing that without weapons they were vulnerable. Leah, watching from the car, felt fear grip her heart. She saw the lions begin to surround her father and Quizzy, their growls growing louder. Suddenly, the male lunged forward, striking Noah with his paw. Noah fell, and Quizzy, trying to distract the lion, raised his camera, but this only angered the beast. Leah screamed, "Dad!" Her voice trembled, tears streaming down her cheeks. In desperation, Leah remembered Simu. She didn't know if he was alive, but her instinct told her to try. Simu, she shouted with all her might, leaning out of the car window. The male froze, his ears twitching. Leah noticed a scar on his shoulder, a mark from an old wound she had seen when she was caring for the lion cub. It was him. Simu. "It's me, Lee," she continued, her voice trembling with hope. Noah and Quizzy, still on the ground, couldn't believe their ears. Simu turned his head toward the car, his gaze softening. Leah, oblivious to the danger, opened the door and slowly got out. Noah whispered, "Leah, no." But Quizzy stopped him, noticing that the lion was no longer growling. The girl stepped forward, repeating, "Simu, do you remember me?" The lion looked at her, his eyes searching for something familiar. Suddenly, he made a low, almost friendly sound, and took a step toward Leah. The pride behind him backed away, as if obeying his signal. Leah reached out her hand, and Simu gently touched her palm with his nose, as he had done when he was a cub. She smiled through her tears, hugged his mane, and whispered, "Thank you for protecting us." Noah slowly got up, holding his bruised shoulder. Quizzy, still holding the camera, recorded this incredible moment. Simu turned to the pride, letting out a short roar, and the lions began to retreat, returning to their prey. Leah patted Simu once more, saying, "You will always be my friend." The lion looked at her, as if saying goodbye, and slowly walked back to his pride. His golden mane glistened in the sun. When the pride disappeared over the horizon, Noah hugged Leah, and Quizzy laughed and said, "This will be the best part of our movie." Leah smiled, her heart full of joy. She knew that Simu would never forget her, just as she would never forget him. Years passed, and Leah grew up to be a true protector of Ungulu. The reserve became her home, and the story of Simu became a legend told to new rangers. The video filmed by Quizzy became part of a documentary that inspired thousands of people to care for wildlife. Standing on a hill overlooking the savanna, Leah knew that somewhere out there, among the grasses, Simu was living his life, but their bond would never fade. Thank you for reading this story. If it touched your heart, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel to learn more about the wonders of wild